They're the unlikely dynamic duo attracting Oscar spotlight.
Pretty boy.
73-year-old Korean legend Yuh-JungYoun, and then 7-year-old newbie Alan Kim stealing scenes in Minari.
I'm not pretty. I'm good looking.
The low-budget indie film pierces through with the struggle of a Korean-American family who moves to rural Arkansas, toiling in a chicken hatchery to pursue their version of the American dream.
How's your daddy like that new farm? He growing things good, doing things right?
Yes.
Minari, a metaphor for the resilient Korean herb that can sprout in the most difficult conditions.
My character doesn't like the grandma at first, but throughout the movie, she starts growing on him.
The film nominated for 6 Oscars, including Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Supporting Actress for Youn.
Strong boy.
But the grandma and grandson portrayals already winning awards around the globe.
Alan Kim Minari.
Little Alan, with 0 prior acting experience, melting hearts at the Critics' Choice Awards.
What are you looking forward to most about going to the Oscars?
Winning.
Alan isn't nominated for an Oscar, but his director, Lee Isaac Chung, is nominated for both director and screenwriter. Chung wrote the script based on his own childhood in Arkansas and his own grandmother, hoping to reframe the American dream.
It's not about the hard work and success. It's about the sacrifice that everybody makes. I wanted to highlight my grandmother and my mom and even my dad in the factories, the sort of work that they did when they're very much invisible, the work that they were doing out of love.
I'm curious if you think about sort of representation and the Asian American experience.
I'm wary of creating films that are merely about representation. It's a story about family. It's a story about redemption. It's a story about many different things. And this family happens to be Asian, but that's not the reason why this story has to exist.
저건 니들이 좋아하던 노래잖아.
Written in 2018 as his sort of farewell to Hollywood, Chung was preparing to leave the industry after a modest decade in film.
I didn't know if it would do anything for my career. So I was trying to put everything I was feeling into it, just so that I would feel like I didn't leave anything behind.
Did you have any idea that it would become this big a deal?
Of course not. No, there was a part of me that just thought this screenplay is just going to sit on my computer, and one day I'm going to let my daughter read it when she's older, just so she can see like what I was working on when I was younger.
The film was shot in 25 days under the hot Tulsa, Oklahoma summer sun, much to the distress of its biggest star.
The first day, the AC went out, and it's just a mess. So, but looking at Isaac, he was all sweating, and I'm over 70 years old lady. I'm very temperamental when he and I'm upset, but he was always calm, and he always say, "I got it." That was, to me, was the most beautiful sound from the director.
If I lose my cool, then the ship is going to sink in some way. So I just knew that I had to keep it together and keep it in control.
Youn has 2 sons and is a grandmother herself, which may be why she instantly connected with Alan, who plays her grandson.
When you are little, you don't understand. You are very ignorant.
That empathy and humanization, so deftly portrayed on screen, has made her a frontrunner for Best Supporting Actress.
It is rewarding your instincts to go with your gut and not go with the biggest paycheck.
I'm old enough. Whether the money or fame is not important. The people, my friends, is important.
Such an exquisitely composed movie. This is remarkable. And I also had the opportunity to speak to one of the movie stars.
And after a 50-year-plus career in film and TV in Korea, which includes opening up pop-up restaurants on a reality show called Youn's Kitchen.
Hello. Welcome to our restaurant.
Yuh-JungYoun has seemed delighted at the global acclaim she's gotten from Minari.
Oh, I don't know how to describe my feelings. I've been recognized by Westerners, by British people, known as very snobbish people, and they approve me.
1971 saw her in Woman of Fire, a melodrama that's considered a classic of Korean cinema. She followed up with Insect Woman the following year. And And then she gave it all up and moved to Florida. What caused that to happen?
Because I married and I thought, I would marry happily ever after.
After almost 10 years and a divorce, she found herself back in Korea, rebuilding her career. And at 73 years old, her work in Minari has given her a shot at Oscar Gold.
And Clayton Davis weighing in on the actress equivalent of Rocky II. You have too many sequels at the Oscars, but this is different because we've got a rematch between Glenn Close and Olivia Colman. Elizabeth, why don't we start with you? Is either one of those two going to win supporting actress?
I don't think so. I think it's going to go to Yuh-JungYoun, which is, by the way, very well deserved. This would be a historical win. She's actually the first ever Korean actress nominated in 93 years. This would be huge. But back to the rematch between Glenn Close and Olivia Colman. I mean, you literally couldn't write this script. It could only happen at the Oscars. 2 years ago is when Olivia Colman won for The Favorite. Glenn Close was favored to win for The Wife, and I think even Olivia Colman was shocked. So poor Glenn Close. She has had such an iconic career, but she is the most nominated living loser. Is that a win in itself? I don't know.
It's an honor just to be nominated, as Clayton would be the first to tell us. How do you see this category shaping up? Who do you think is going to win?
Grandma from Minari, Yuh-JungYoun, her performance, Minari, is incredible. She has BAFTA and SAG wins, which is usually a winning combination. Glenn Close, I think she's going to go the way of Peter O'Toole. She'll be 0 for 8 probably by the end of the night. Doesn't make her a loser. She has more films on the horizon, including Sunset Boulevard performance that we're all looking forward to. But I think Olivia Colman could be the spoiler because the father did have a big surge during voting, and it could help pull some of that in. But I think this is Yuh-JungYoun's to lose, as well as she's going to be just the second Asian woman to ever win an acting Oscar, following Miyoshi Yameki in Sayonara in 1957. So this has been a really long road coming.
And a lot of emotions coming to the table in that category. Now, and I can't wait to visit. But look who's visiting with us now, Steven Yeun, nominated in Best Actor category today for Minari, and his wife, Joanna. Welcome to the red carpet at the Oscars.
Thank you very much.
It's great to have you here. All those days you spent in that boiling hot trailer in Oklahoma making Minari, did you ever imagine that this journey would climax with a trip to the Oscars, Steven?
I mean, it's been 2 years of this ride, and my wife has been there the whole way through, and it's been, we're still kind of like in disbelief about it all, but it's really cool.
There was that legendary screening, I think, at Sundance, where you saw a movie with the audience for the first time. What did you feel in that room, maybe, that gave you an idea of how this film was going to touch its audience?
I think I felt a sense of connection. I really felt like we had a really beautiful communal experience, and I remember walking away from that experience, especially next to my family, sitting next to my dad, and connecting in ways that I think a lot of us have been longing for a while now.
Does this movie help people have the kind of conversations with their parents, with their children, they haven't been able to have about the immigrant experience for Korean people?
Yeah, I mean, I think this movie speaks to a lot of people and meets them at a lot of different places. I think at the crux of it all is it's a story about family, and it's a story about seeing each other and seeing ourselves, no matter who you are. And so I'm really happy for that.
It's such a perfectly crafted movie in every respect. Those first 30 seconds of the film tell you everything you want to know about what's happening on screen. Yuh-JungYoun told us that she was your unofficial dialect coach for Minari. and she kept giving you notes. What do you remember about that, Steve?
I had a lot of help for this film. I had a lot of help. We had Yuh-JungYoun helping me all the time. I looked to her all the time. I had Youn helping us. We had incredible people. I had my wife helping me all the time. I think it was truly like a collective experience and a labor of love by all of us.
We wish you the most wonderful evening. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's great to have you. When we come back, more nominees live, including Steven's co-stars for Minari. Don't go away.
미국의 어떤 인물을 대변한다고 생각하진 않아서 더 쉽게 했어요.
Yeah, I mean, she did feel it was the most Korean character, but yet it was also a mother, which is very universal, and she felt it wasn't difficult at all for her to portray it, even though it was in America, because it felt very easy.
Yuh-JUNG, we were talking before about how hot it was in that trailer, and I think you said that, understandably, you might not have enjoyed how hot those temperatures got in that trailer in Oklahoma while you were shooting this movie. What's your memory about that?
Hot and humid and just suffering with everything because this is low budget movie and then it's not enough for everything. So to me, I'm very old-fashioned actor in Korea, and my career was more than 50 years ago, and then I've been spoiled in Korean industry. But
You watch them on TV?
it's morning.
Oh, so you wake up first thing in the morning?
9 in the morning.
9 in the
yes.
morning. Yeah.
Would you ever pretend that you were going to win an Oscar? Would you hold an Oscar in your hand and imagine that you were winning?
Never. I never even dreamt about of being in here.
Dreams come true 하셔야죠.
No. So I'm happy to be here, just looking around and how the American doing the things. So.
Do you have a speech in that little valise there if you happen to win?
No, actually, it's a secret. No, I don't have a speech because I don't prepare any speech because there's no way to get over the Glen Close. So, no.
We wish you the most wonderful evening. Thank you for coming to the Oscars and being with us. Coming up, the screenwriters behind one of the year's most celebrated films.